Hey everyone, this is Billy Ramirez again from techacademy.ph, and on today's video episode, ang pag-uusapan or ang i-share ko naman sa inyo is all about the 5 ideal entry-level jobs for aspiring network engineers. So kung nangangarap ka na maging network engineer in the near future or nagpe-prepare ka for network engineering related IT certifications like CCNA, Network Plus, and so on, makakatulong itong mga ibibigay ko sa iyo na 5 entry-level jobs para malaman mo or mapaghandaan mo yung mga possible or mga ideal na trabaho or entry-level na jobs na pwede mong hanapin sa umpisa. Kasi as you start your network engineering career, you have to build your foundation first. Ibig sabihin, kailangan mo munang makakuha ng related experience, related exposure para ma-expose ka at saka para matutunan mo yung mga technologies and mga, sabihin nating mga common tasks and responsibilities na i-discuss ko in this video, so you can check that out. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and start with our 5 ideal entry-level jobs for aspiring network engineer. The number 5 in our list is what we call network associate or possibly network engineer. So ibig sabihin, kapag network associate ka or junior network engineer, you're already on the network team. Part ka na ng network team. So maganda yon dahil mismong nandun ka na sa team na pinapangarap mo, ika nga. Kaya lang, as a network associate or as a network junior engineer, syempre nasa pinaka low level ka ng hierarchy or lowest tier ka ng networking team or network support. So most likely, ang mga tasks and responsibilities na maa-assign or mapupunta sa'yo is more about first level of support sa mga network issues ng company or client ng company. So, more of like monitoring of alarms, and then syempre, i-verify mo yung mga alarm na yun, and then kung sabihin natin valid yung mga alarm, gagawin mo ng ticket. Diba? And then, nandyan din yung mga non-impacting issues or for example, mga requests like password reset ng Wi-Fi, minsan nahawak din namin yung dati, and then other non-impacting issues. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya high severity or hindi siya kumbaga business halting incidents. Yung mga ganon. So, first level of support sa non-impacting issues kapag associate, mostly ganun yung ginagawa natin. Or, kapag mga higher level issues or mga P1, P2, ganyan, mostly nakashadow pa tayo doon sa talagang mga seasoned na network administrator or network engineer para malaman natin yung mga gagawin. So, more of a support muna tayo doon sa mga seniors natin, ika nga. Okay? And then, of course, you'll be involved sa mga small projects like updating network diagram, other documentations, and so on and so forth. So, yun yung mga common tasks and responsibilities na pwede mong makuha kapag nakapasok ka as a network associate or junior network engineer. So, let's go ahead and go with our number 4 on the list, which is what we called NOC support or NOC engineer. So, kapag sinabi nating NOC, basically Network Operations Center or ang tinatawag din natin na command center, kung saan nandun kayo sa parang command center ng company nyo or ng client nyo, and then meron kayong malalaking monitor na parang sinihan or multiple monitors ng mga desktops nyo, tapos you are monitoring everything actually in your infrastructures like the servers, networks, firewalls, and so on and so forth. Now, kapag sinabi natin NOC support or NOC engineer, mostly ang hinahandle nyo kasi kapag sinabi natin NOC, usually, katulad din siya ng service desk. We're gonna talk about that later. Pero mostly internal IT issues. So, you're gonna take inbound calls from internal IT team from different departments sa company nyo or your company's clients IT. Kasi kapag NOC, ang pinag-uusapan natin, hindi sila kadalasan nakikipag-usap doon sa mga end user. So, mostly internal IT team or companies IT yung mga kausap natin. And then aside from that, you're probably involved in ticketing kapag may mga issues din, i-document niyo yun through ticket. So, I'm not sure kung familiar kayo with ServiceNow, pero ganun yung ginagamit namin dati. Okay? So, another task is monitoring. Of course, you'll be involved in verifying alarms and monitoring the utilization, for example, ng network, wherein, for example, normal pa ba yung utilization ng mga edge routers natin or ng mga sites natin, overutilize ba? Kasi pagka overutilize, probably magkakaroon ng problema, di ba? So, babagal yung connection or may madadrop na calls kung BPO kayo and so on. So, that's why we need to monitor or may mga nag-down, ganyan. So, we have to verify the alarm And then, ganun din, gagawa mo ng ticket and then part ng responsibility nyo kung may mga impacting outages like P1 or SEV1 or P2 or SEV2, you have to set up an outage call or bridge and then gather all the resources dun sa bridge na yun para i-resolve yung issue. So, kasama na dun sa task and responsibilities mo bilang isang NOC support is to document kung ano yung nangyayari, kung ano yung issue, kung ano yung ginawa ng anong team, for example, anong ginawa ng server team, anong ginawa ng network team, or paano na-resolve yung issue. Para pagdating dun sa tinatawag nating root cause analysis, pag-uusapan natin in the future yung mga terms niyan, alam na kung paano na-resolve and para hindi na maulit yung issues na yun. So more of ticketing, monitoring, and documentation when we say NOC support or NOC engineer. I guess this is one of the best entry-level jobs na pwede mong applyan or hanapin as an aspiring network engineer kasi ang kagandahan dito is magkakaroon ka ng overview ng buong infrastructure. So, ibig sabihin, may expose ka kung ano yung mga nangyayari sa servers, ano yung mga nangyayari sa networks, tapos ano yung mga common issues na nakakaharap nyo every single day, ano yung mga resolutions nila. So, mapapatibay nun yung foundation mo, yung experience mo para pagdating mo sa network engineering level, you already have those vast experience, ika nga. Okay? So, yung next natin will be service desk, which is almost identical dun sa NOC support. Kasi, itong mga binabanggit ko sa inyo is coming on the top of my head or from experience. Now, of course, kapag ka tinignan nyo doon sa company to company, yung mga opening, for example, online, sa mga job portals, probably yung isang responsibilities dito is nandun sa ibang position or yung position na binabanggit ko probably is ang pangalan dun sa ibang company or dun sa ibang opening is different. So, ang caveat dito, ika nga, is you have to look at the job description or dun sa task and responsibilities na i-assign sa'yo for that position para talagang sigurado ka kung ano yung kakaharapin mo. Ika nga. Pero, ang mga binibigay ko sa inyo is the general task and responsibilities of that specific job. Okay? Para magkaroon ka ng idea, para magkaroon ka ng, ika nga, kahit konting preparation kapag ka ina-apply mo na itong mga positions na to. Okay, so, as a service desk, ganun din, you're gonna take calls from internal IT teams or clients wherein kapag may issue sila, tatawagan nila yung service desk hotline nyo or help desk hotline nyo para ma-resolve yung issues nila. So, nandyan din kasi nung help desk kami or service desk sa Teletech, kaway-kaway sa mga taga-Teletech dyan. Ang ginagawa namin is mostly password reset dun sa mga Active Directory account nila. Yun nga, monitoring and ticketing kasama rin. So kapag kami alarms, may access kami sa mga network devices at saka dun sa mga common servers wherein pwede namin i-verify yung alarm na na-receive namin sa aming monitoring dashboards. So kapag ka-impacting yun, kailangan mong mag-open ng call or ng bridge, tawagan yung mga resources para ma-resolve yung issues na yun. So as part of the service desk, another task would be, you'll be part of the internal team support. So, may kaibahan kasi yung mga common technical support sa mga tinatawag nating NOC engineer or service desk. Kasi, kapag sinabi nating service desk or NOC, mostly, ang kausap nila is internal IT teams or internal teams or client team. Kumbaga, kapag technical support, mostly end user ang kausap mo. And then, you're taking calls, possibly inbound and outbound. So, sa service desk, ganun din yung ginagawa mo, pero yung mga kausap mostly are part of the organizations only. Okay? Or yung client's organization. Pwede kasing kapag shared services, hinahandle nyo rin yung client infrastructure or yung infrastructure ng client nyo. Something like that. Okay, so another task and responsibilities, again, kagaya nga ng NOC, is ticketing and outage handling. So kapag may mga SEV1, SEV2 issues, kasama kayo doon, dina-document nyo yung nangyayari, kung paano na-resolve, ano yung resolutions, and minsan, part din kayo ng RCA call, which is root cause analysis, para i-document yung pinag-usapan dun sa RCA para hindi na maulit yung ganong issues. So, kasi dun sa RCA, for example, may nangyaring malaking outage like a SEV1, which is business impacting, magkakaroon ng RCA or RCA call. So, root cause analysis call. Ngayon, kasama dun yung mga involved na team kung ano yung naging issue, and then change management, probably managers, and so on. Tapos, magka-come up kayo doon with resolution para hindi na maulit yung issue. So, you're gonna document that. You're gonna Kumbaga, prepare that report, for example, kasama na rin yung incident managers para nga hindi na maulit yung issue. And then, ang point ko is, para magkaroon ka ng exposure, para ma-experience mo ano yung pwede mong kaharapin in the future. Kasi as a service desk, and then you're aiming to move, ika nga sa network engineering team, di ba? So, possibly in the near future, ikaw yung gagawa ng mga resolutions na yun or ng mga remediations na yun. Does that make sense? Good. So, ang number 2 sa list natin is what we called pre-sales engineer. Now, this one comes a bit of a technical and then a bit of marketing or sales. Kapag sinabi nating pre-sales engineer, nagtatrabaho ka doon sa mga tinatawag nating vendor or integrator kung saan ang product or services nila is yung mga technology or mga devices itself na in-offer nila doon sa ibang company na hindi pa masyadong advanced or gustong mag-implement ng mga makabagong technology or mag-upgrade ng devices and so on. So, as a pre-sales engineer, so kailangan mo kahit pa paano ng technical background kasi dapat naiintindihan mo yung technology at saka yung services na in-offer nyo or yung mga products. And then of course, kailangan marunong ka rin sa sales and marketing kasi part ng responsibility mo, you're gonna talk to possible clients and then explain mo yung mga benefits and advantages ng mga technology and services or devices na in-offer nyo. Diba? So part din, dapat marunong kang mag-assess ng mga needs ni client. Kailangan di bang mag-upgrade ng ganito? Ano ba yung mga possible na pwedeng makatulong para ma-scale ng isang company yung business nila or para makatipid sila sa cost and so on. So as part of pre-sales engineering team, nandun ka sa gitna ng ng sales and marketing at saka IT kasi dapat may background ka on both. Aside from that, you're also presenting to clients. So mabibuild rin or makakatulong din yun or dapat meron ka rin na presentation skills kasi for example, may sabihin na nating leads or possible clients yung company nyo, pupunta ka doon, magpe-present ka, this is how are we going to implement this kapag ginrab nyo itong services namin na ito yung maitutulong nila sa inyo. So, you have to present to them in a way na dapat ma-acquire or bumili sila sa inyo. Parang ganun. So, kaya nga part siya ng sales and marketing tapos IT. Okay? So, another tasks and responsibilities would be, yun nga. So, kapag ka na-presentan mo na sila, dapat bibili sila. So, you're gonna provide quotations and estimate, kumbaga, dun sa mga offered services or products nyo. So, mostly, you're gonna travel here and there para sa mga meetings and presentations as a pre-sales engineer. Ang kagandahan dito is, nagkakaroon ka ng experience dun sa mga new technology, dun sa mga new devices kasi kagaya ni Fujitsu and other vendor and integrator like for example pangalan nito kalimutan ko na yung pangalan sabihin natin Fujitsu for example, pwedeng yun nga, so for example yung isang company na client ni Fujitsu for example, mag-upgrade sila ng network devices nila and then kukuha sila ng mga SDN capable devices. So kahit pa paano magkakaroon ka ng idea kasi kailangan alam mo yun eh. So first hand, mabibigay sa yung information, mapapractice mo kung paano i-present, malalaman mo kung paano gamitin. So makakatulong yun to build your foundation as a future network engineer. Okay, and then ang kagandahan pa, if you're aiming to start a business in the near future, yung presentation, yung marketing and sales skills mo magagamit mo din. So, kumbaga, win-win situation. Alright? So, that's basically our number 4 and let's go ahead with the number 1 in our list, which is what we called technical support. So, kung makikita nyo, merong asterisk dyan. Well, basically, hindi kasi lahat ng technical support is related sa network engineering team. So, or network engineering career or journey or job. So, ang advice ko here is if possible, choose a technical support job or role kung saan you're handling network related accounts. So, kagaya ng AT&T, Sprint, Level 3, and other ISPs abroad or Verizon, something like that, kung saan may expose ka pa rin sa network related technologies or network related protocols or devices para kahit papano meron ka pa ring exposure or experience dun sa mga common network issues and resolutions na related sa network kasi makakatulong yung mga yun para sa future network engineering career mo. So as part of technical support, you will be taking calls from customer or client issue. Okay, so kanina nabanggit ko ang pinagkaiba ni helpdesk or NOC dun sa common technical support sa mga call center is, in technical support, you're mostly talking with the end user. Mostly, hindi naman lahat. Depende pa rin sa environment, depende pa rin sa account, depende pa rin sa setup. So mostly, kapag sinabi nating tech support, pwedeng inbound, which is kayo yung nag-receive ng call, or outbound, kayo yung tumatawag dun sa mga end user or sa mga client para ma-resolve yung issues nila. May mga account kasi sa mga BPO or call center na nag-handle ng network-related accounts. Yun nga, katulad ng AT&T or Sprint, Verizon, and so on. And then related sa network yung issues nila, like yung mga line activation, account verification, mga common issues, di ba? So makakatulong yun kahit paano para ma-expose ka dun sa mga common issues na meron sa mga network devices or network technologies. Mas maganda nga makapasok ka doon sa mga enterprise account level, like yung mga ibang members or students natin sa masterclass, they are working with Master G wherein they're handling SDN or account activation ng mga enterprise. So magandang exposure, magandang experience yon. So another part na pwede mong maging trabaho or role as a technical support would be troubleshooting yung mga issues ni customer. Like, for example, kung naghahawa ka ng ISP, like account ng normal household AT&T user or Sprint user, papareset mo yung router, di ba? Bakit hindi nakakakuha ng signal yung mga device? Common things like that. Pero sabi ko nga, as a starter, makakatulong yon to build your foundation. Okay? Part of that, yung mga line activation na nabanggit ko kanina, account verification, and so on. So, mostly, you're handling ticketing and documentation then with the client or the end user in relation with their network or, kumbaga, ISP account natin na tinatawag. Okay? So, itong mga binigay ko sa inyong again na 5 entry-level jobs for aspiring network engineer are just basically in my own opinion. Kasi I firmly believe na to become a better future network engineer, you have to be exposed sa mga common issues, sa mga common implementation, sa mga common troubleshooting, sa mga common resolutions ng mga issues na yun. Para nung sa ganun, pagdating mo dun sa network engineering role, meron ka ng matibay na pundasyon kung ano yung mga kakaharapin mo. Okay, so itong 5 entry-level jobs na i-share ko sa inyo will give you those foundation or those exposure para maging future-proof in the future. Ika nga. Okay, so I hope this provides you useful information. For more tips and for more IT career tips, you can follow us on our website, techacademy.ph, or on our Facebook and YouTube, which is Tech Academy PH din, para mas maging updated kayo. Yun lamang po. Maraming salamat. Billy Ramirez here once again. God bless.